Welcome to the Knowledge Base Ninjas podcast, where Gauri Ramkumar of Document 360 finds the best SaaS self-service knowledge bases in the world and then interviews their creators. Let's get started with today's episode.
Good day, everyone. Our guest today is Anastasiia Mikhieieva, Senior Technical Writer at GlobalLogic. Welcome to the Knowledge Base Ninjas podcast, Anastasiia. How are you doing today?
Yeah, hi, Gauri. Thank you for having me invited. It's a great opportunity and it's great for you to having me here. Everything is super. Yeah.
Great. So just help me understand a little bit more about yourself and how did you get into documentation initially?
Yes, well, I've been working in my first IT company as a training coordinator, and I was looking for new job opportunities within the company. And since I managed internal training programs, I communicated with lots of people allocated on different projects. And once I've organized training, which was held by a technical writer. For that time, I didn't know what a technical writer's job is. So I asked this person to tell me more about his work and what the technical writer responsibilities in an IT company. Then I got an interest in diving into this specialization and talked to my manager about the possibility to switch to the technical writers team. And luckily, everything worked out in the best way. And after the interview, I was accepted into the team of technical writers. So that's how my way of technical writing started.
Fantastic. That's great. So what is your documentation process that you follow at GlobalLogic, and who do you normally get involved in that, Anastasiia?
Yes, our team provides documentation for our product customers who mainly have the administrator role and can fully manage the product. We work according to a 4-week sprint and have a release once per month. Every sprint starts from the documentation plan, during which we create the list of the top product priorities for documentation. We work closely with the product and technical managers to obtain an understanding of the upcoming developed functionality. And we have a department of information designers who approve the documentation plan. And each of the team members works on a particular feature, defect, or release documentation. And surely we have everyday stand-ups where we discuss the status of our working process, share our pains and gains, and receive support. And of course, we also work closely with the product managers because they have direct contact with our customers and can suggest documentation improvements. And also we communicate daily with the different SMEs like developers, quality assurance, or support specialists. And we have a quite big team of technical writers. Globally is about 50 persons. And in my team, we have 5 of us.
Oh, that's great. So I can see there's a lot of interactions required at different levels and different teams.
Yeah.
So while creating such documentations, what do you think are the most important factors anyone should consider?
Yes, well, our product relates to cloud and microservices solutions, and sometimes is very technical and quite complicated for a non-techie person. That is why our main goal as technical writers is to provide informative, helpful, and user-friendly documentation. We create a lot of administration guides and release notes where we should specify clear information. But even in such documentation, we are striving for simplicity. Also, we are doing our best in information design and structure our knowledge base in such a way so our customers can find the necessary information quickly and on time. So it's all about the simplicity and the user-friendly approach for the documentation.
Okay, super. So can you talk to me about user-driven documentation and what is this and what are the benefits?
Well, we release different types of documentation, and also it's about the release notes itself. So we prepare different documentation for separate models of our product functionality, and some of our customers, they use just one model, some use several models. So for that reason, we should have appropriate documentation for all. And when we create this release documentation, we know that several thousands of our customers will read all this and will have some questions, some comments. So it is very important for us to provide the best documentation of the quality, so we have to receive the less comments from the customer side and to make this documentation more helpful.
Great. So are GlobalLogic currently generating any organic search traffic from your knowledge base?
Yes, we have, of course, we have this traffic concerns about our knowledge base. But I would say that in our team of technical writers, we are not involved in this process. I know that we have a team of marketing specialists who actually doing this. But of course, our documentation is open for everyone, so it's public.
Okay, great. So do you get any feedback from such marketing team or whoever is looking after your search traffic, especially given that yours is a public documentation? You also need to know where to bring more documentation, which topics to focus. So do you have that kind of input from any other team?
Yes, we have. We received actually different reports from the marketing team, and also we use Google Analytics that helps us to monitor the most visited pages through the CMS, and also track the general activity of our customers. And also we use comment collector tool that enables our customers to provide feedback or leave a comment on particular page. So in such way, we can analyze what information we should add or even remove. And all this helps us to, to keep our documentation up to date and to monitor the customer's feedback.
Okay, fantastic. So according to you, what role does documentation have in GlobalLogic developer support strategy?
Well, I would say that the role of documentation on our project is quite significant because, as I already mentioned, that our product is quite complicated and we have a big number of different customers from different domains. So this information is divided on models, and every team of technical writers is involved on different models. So sometimes we even don't know who is working on another model, because you're not concerned about this. So there are different information and big amount of information, and our customers, they are likely to read the release notes. They likely to read the manuals at first and then contact customer support if they have any issue. So all these factors just create the strong necessity of the documentation within the company, because we know that our customers await for the documentation every release, and they are involved in this process. And also we perform customer surveys once per 3 releases, per 3 months. So we ask them to help us make our documentation more helpful and to leave their feedback, whether they think on improvements, on some issues. So I would say that we closely interact with our customers in GlobalLogic.
Okay, great. So I think there's quite a lot of information you shared in the last 15 minutes or so, Anastasiia. Just a quick check. Would you like to talk anything more before we move on to the rapid fire round?
I would say that technical writers nowadays have great opportunities to develop soft skills and hard skills. So I'm really great that I have a chance to work in a big team of technical writers, because I had different experience working as one technical writer on the project, and also as in the team of several technical writers. So it's a great experience, and I would suggest anyone to try to work on different projects with different domains. So it really helps to gain some understanding and experience for future projects. So I guess just like this note.
Okay, super, Anastasiia. So the next round is going to be a rapid fire round. So who have you learned the most about documentation from in your career?
Every day I learn from my colleagues, and it's not only about technical writing, but of course I think that the most significant impact on me as technical writer made my first mentor in the IT company while I just started to work in this specialization. He was a friendly person, but quite strict, and he motivated me to learn new things that could be helpful in technical writing. Also, he shared his experience and gave me helpful advice, and he was really dedicated to technical writing. So from the beginning, I had a really good example as a newcomer. So I would say that he was a great example for me at that time and even nowadays.
That's true. So your first guru or the first person is very important in setting your career path, right? Correct. So good. So, and also, can you share a documentation related resource you have consumed recently?
I have the list of resources which I read every day while I having my morning coffee. But my favorite by now, I guess it's ClickHelp.com, and I'd rather be writing, and Scriptorium podcasts, and also I like the blog of young technical writer. It's called The Not Boring Tech Writer.com. So I read these resources, and I like that they are constantly updating and provide some interesting and relevant information for technical writers.
Super. Okay, so what is that one piece of documentation related advice you would give to your 20-year-old self?
Well, I would definitely suggest learning some programming languages and gaining hard skills. I've been working on projects with different domains, from telecom and CRM systems to online security applications. And as a technical writer, I needed to grasp technical information quickly and dive into the back end of the product. And now I continue to sharpen my skills in API documentation and SQL. Recently, I started learning Python, which is quite challenging for me. But I believe that technical writing is about soft and hard skills balancing, which makes this specialization so interesting and essential. So, I would just recommend to be more techie person, just to strive for new knowledges and to read more, to listen more about the technical writing and the IT sphere itself.
Super. So that's a great piece of advice you've given today for the youngsters, because not many people are choosing to get into IT, right?
Yeah.
Super. So that's great. That's a great session, Anastasiia, we had today. Anything else to highlight or add before we say bye to the audience?
Well, I just want to say thank you, Gauri, for organizing this very interesting and helpful podcast, because as a technical writers, we constantly need to develop our skills, and it's really great that we have some different resources to listen to know about experience of other technical writers and globally. That's really a great thing, because every time I listen to the new podcast, I wonder, this person works in this country, and it's so interesting how he manages technical documentation and what background he have. So it's really good, that you have this initiative. So thank you once again for that.
Thank you once again to you for spending your time and preparing for this podcast and sharing your valuable experience with us. And I think all guests are superstars in this Ninjas podcast, because you give various ideas and thoughts to a lot of youngsters, a lot of other writers, and anybody who's involved in documentation world.
Yeah.
Super. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day, Anastasiia. So stay safe.
Yeah, you too, Gauri. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Knowledge Base Ninjas podcast. Please head to iTunes, rate, and provide honest feedback on the podcast. See you next week.